Hey, welcome back to another Netcast. I'm Rich Lopez, Quantrix Authority. Sincerely appreciate you joining me today for episode number 76, where I'm going to show you what to do when you can't collapse a chart on a canvas because there is a bug. But here is a workaround. Came across this one a couple weeks ago, working on a chart in a canvas. It was a pretty complex canvas. This example I have here is just kind of an ugly one. But what we have here is we have a list of charts by these line items like marketing, investment in general, total net revenue reductions, net revenue, and so on and so forth, gross margin. And then I also have another category that kind of gives me a scenario, like a low scenario, a medium scenario, and a high scenario, okay? And what I want to do is, let's say I want to collapse everything except for gross margin across all three of the scenarios. I want to be able to see all three gross margin charts together. So what I ought to be able to do is simply click on gross margin, right click, and select collapse other. So I wanted to do that on gross margin. What happens? I get net revenue. It's like, well, that's not right. I selected gross margin, so let me undo that again. Let me try it again. Go down here, and I find gross margin. I select again, collapse other, but you'll notice that my focus changed. My focus went from gross margin to COGS just by a right click. I'm like, well, that's not right. So again, heck, I hold down my control key, I right click, again, it's going up here, total COGS. I bet everything but total COGS collapses. That's not what I selected. So I was like, well, that's a bug, and it is. I logged out with Quantrix, but what's the workaround? Well, don't go after your right click menu. So again, if I go to gross margin, I can go up here on my toolbar to the collapse item. And when I hit the collapse item, well, I guess that got rid of gross margin. So maybe that's not what I want. But maybe I want to select everything but gross margin. So I would hold down my shift key and I would select all of these guys, and I would go up to here to the toolbar and select collapse item. I'd get these guys, I'd select collapse item, and then in theory, all I have left is gross margin. So if you're running into that bug where you can't collapse something by using the right click menu because the focus changes, know that is a bug, and I have logged that with Quantrix. But also know that you can go up here to the collapse item or expand item on your toolbar and accomplish the same thing. Anyway, I hope you find that helpful. And if you have any questions about Quantrix, I hope you'll reach out to me at quantrixauthority@gmail.com. I absolutely love Quantrix. I do. And I want to make you a Quantrix master, so please join me again for another episode of Quantrix Authority with Rich Lopez.